Hi, folks. Welcome to Curtis Goes Corner. No BS here, just straight commentary. Please like and subscribe. And as always, thank you for your support. Hi, folks. Welcome back to Curtis Goes Corner. I've given this episode a lot of thought, and I'm pretty pissed. Over 500,000 Americans have died of COVID, and God knows how many hundreds of thousands have died indirectly through suicide, drug overdoses, destroyed lives, millions. Still alive, but life in ruins, families broken up. And nobody's protesting for them. Who protests for them? Who? I don't see anybody. I don't see anybody out in the streets. I don't see anybody. We don't see anyone protesting at all. Just in New York State, crappy government policies have killed upwards of 15,000 seniors in our nursing homes. And where's the protest? Here's a protest here. Black Lives Matter. Tens of thousands of people protesting the death of George Floyd without knowing any of the facts and any of the circumstances that led up to that. They want blood. Granted, is one unarmed black man one too many? You bet. Let's put this in perspective. Yes, it's a tragedy to his family. But what about the 15,000 seniors in New York State where I live? I live upstate. What about their families? Where are these protesters for them? Where are these people they were putting in New York City in freezers because they were running out of room? Because of crappy policies by our government. And don't turn around and say, it was Trump, it was Trump, it was Trump. Bull. Bull. We got dealt some crappy hands. So you know what? We're not going to blame the guy that dealt us the cards or the person or the agency. We should have shut this country down, but we couldn't in time. Why? Because China never told us. Where's the protesting? Where is the protesting? I don't see it. I don't see them. 500,000 dead and not a peep as far as protesting goes. Who's going to protest for them? For them that laying dying, that lived their whole lives, that worked their whole lives, paid taxes their whole lives, raised children, were part of their community, helped raise their grandchildren, now dead. Where is the protesting for them? Where? Oh, it was an election year, a presidential election year. So as good Democrats always do, they never let a crisis go to waste. We have the perfect boogeyman for this. It's not China where it came from, where they lied and said it wasn't contagious from human to human before it was all over the world. They wouldn't give us any information on the virus or anywhere else in the world for that matter to help us combat it, come up maybe with a vaccine faster, or figure out how quickly or how it transmits. Nope. No protest to them. Who's protesting for these people? No one is protesting for these people. Why not? Why aren't there protests by the hundreds of thousands for 500,000 dead? Why? Here, look at this protest. Black Lives Matter. Of course they matter. So is everybody's life. It all matters. It's an oxymoron. Look at this. By the tens of thousands in one place. To protest what? One individual being murdered should be killed or murdered, depending on your point of view, by police without knowing any of the facts. What about the 500,000 plus people? What about their families? They did nothing wrong either. Where is the protest? Where is this organization that put this together? The people that got on social media and sent out texts and on Facebook to form this. This didn't just grow organically. This was done by organizations and groups. Where's the group? Where's the organization? Where is it? Where is it? For the people that needed it most. For the people that are dying by the tens of thousands of COVID by doing absolutely nothing wrong. Where are the protests? Nowhere to be seen. Nowhere to be seen. Who's going to protest for these people? Granted, this is a foreign land, but still, nonetheless, it's still people. Where is the protest? There's BLM protests in England, for Pete's sake. I saw a survey once where they asked young African American, and I hate that expression, I should say Black American young people, how many blacks are killed by police in a year? Some said thousands. Depending on what metric you use, anywhere from 17 to 29. Is that too many? Yeah. But compared to 500,000 plus, who protests for them? No one. No one. Families ruined, lives shattered. Who protests for them? Who? No one. No one. So what happens to the people that are in charge of our public health and safety? Nowhere to be found. But they're around with protests like this. We exported racism. Unbelievable. Where aren't these people protesting the deaths of over 500,000 of their fellow Americans? Where is the organization that organized this protest? Why aren't they organizing one for the COVID deaths? Where the people we trusted with our health and safety let us down. And it's not Trump's fault. So let's cut through the crap before we all drowned in it. It was a presidential election year. It was an easy scapegoat. Whether you hate Donald Trump's guts or you love him or there's somewhere in between, it's not his fault. He was right to call it the China virus. He was right to say it came from there. You may not like his style, but the facts still remain the facts. It's not our truth, my truth. It's the truth. Where is the organization? Where are all these young people protesting this horrible country when they were dropping and dying by the tens of thousands for a year? Not one isolated incident here, not one isolated incident there. Where were these protesters when the body bags were piling up? They were nowhere. Why not? Why weren't they there? Why? I guess it's not politically advantageous. You can't score virtue points for being against Trump or being against whatever you're protesting. You don't get virtue points for protesting against police or for police. You don't get virtue points for these poor people stuck in freezers, in body bags piling up in New York and other big cities. You don't get virtue points for protesting this. It's not cool. You don't get to be on TV. You don't get to make speeches. And everybody goes, yay, yay, yay. And all your friends rally around you like you're a hero. And then you go on social media, especially Twitter, and just run your mouth about how evil everything is in this country while these bodies are piling up and you said nothing. You said and did nothing. These people didn't have to die. Granted, there was going to be some death. Pandemics come and go. Unfortunately, it's the reality of the world and nature. The pandemic right after World War I killed 10 times this. But there was no BLM protest, son. Where's the protest for these poor bastards here that died of COVID? Where's the looting? Where's the burning? Where's the reparations for their families? What? I'm sorry? Yeah, I didn't think so. Nothing. Nothing. They got nothing. Why? Weren't they worthy of a cause? Weren't they worthy of your time? Weren't they worthy of your energy? But here we are, 4 major cities in the United States, filled with hundreds of thousands of people protesting one man's death. Any death is a tragedy. Let's put a little perspective. 500,000 plus people. What you're seeing right now in these 4 photos is over 10 to 20 times that. And yet, where are these people protesting? Lockdowns, destroying people's lives. Where are they? You don't get virtue points on Twitter that way. You don't look like you're fighting the man. You're against the police. You're against Trump. You're against society. This country sucks. And blah, 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 blah. Where is that venom? Where is that anger? Where is that outrage when 500,000 plus people died? Where was it? It was nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. So, we go back to the original question. Who protests for them? Who protests for them? Nobody. Nobody. I just found out today that the lawyer that closed on my building here, my commercial building where my convenience store is in upstate New York, I asked the lawyer that was doing the closing on the sale of it, and his name come up. I said, oh, yeah, how is he? He died of COVID. I'm 64. I doubt if he was much younger or older than me. We're around the same age. Every walk of life, rich, poor, and everything in between. Who speaks for them? Where is the organizations and the anger and the venom and the energy and the frustration on their deaths? It is nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. Why? Because it's not virtuous enough. We have to go by with a lie that we kill tens of thousands of non-white people here every single year. We slaughter them and nobody cares, which isn't true, of course. So what you're doing is you're protesting a lie. Caused billions of dollars in property damage. Burned down minority businesses by the hundreds and hundreds and thousands. For what? For what? Where were you? Where were you, Black Lives Matter protesters, when these people were dying by the tens of thousands? You were nowhere. You were nowhere. Because you can't get virtue brownie points on social media protesting COVID deaths. But you can look like a big shot and run your mouth when you're going against the police, when you're going against Trump, when you're going against Congress, when you're going against the government. Antifa protests all the time. Who the hell knows what they're protesting about? But their own fellow Americans that are dying by the hundreds of thousands, they get nothing. Why? Why? Because the protest is not about Black Lives Matter. The protests aren't about police brutality. The protests aren't about Donald Trump. The protests are about you and your narcissistic personality. That's what this is about. And the lies that you've been fed and told your whole life by the media, social media, your teachers in school, and many of you, your families. So we go back to the original picture in question. Who protests for them? All these grave markers. And this isn't that many compared to what died. Who speaks for them? Who speaks for the crappy policies that locked in seniors in nursing homes in major Democrat states? And yet, no outrage. I live in New York, so I can speak from it as a New Yorker. Upstate, not New York City. Yeah, what Andy Cuomo did when he put young people and COVID-positive patients in nursing homes, in close quarters. And then when the DOJ investigated the numbers, they lied because they were afraid Trump would go after them. They lied. Where's the protesting? And here's the really twisted and sick part about New York State doing this and making horrible decisions that killed thousands. People were only pissed and outraged when Governor Cuomo acted like an ass and a creep to several women. Then they got mad. Then they protested. But these poor people here, and hundreds of thousands, over 500,000 that died, got nothing. Where the hell are your priorities? What the hell has happened? I won't get an answer to this question. I don't know why people care about such trivial crap to compare it about such huge things, but that's the way things are. I guess protesting dead COVID patients because of poor, crappy Democrat state policies isn't glamorous enough for Hollywood, isn't glamorous enough for the Silicon Valley monsters. But protesting politicians you don't like and protesting police makes you look like a hero. For those of you that protested in BLM protests, and every other protest during the year, last summer, and in the early fall, and is still doing it now to a certain extent, and did not protest the deaths of these people because of lousy choices and policies that government made that people trusted in to protect them. If you didn't protest these deaths, shame on you. Until next time, folks, goodbye and good luck.